Hello, I am Michael Quintana, and this will be a 90-minute asana flow class. Things that you might want for your practice today would be a pair of blocks and then perhaps a strap or a towel. We are going to be exploring hip strength and stability, specifically in the context of balancing on one leg. And we'll be doing a short series of one-legged balances that will ultimately bring us to a twisted standing hand to big toe pose. Pavrita Utita Hashtapadangustasana. And maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, and maybe you already know that a strap or perhaps a towel would benefit you in finding access to this particular shape. As you're ready, find your way to a comfortable seat. Whatever that looks like is entirely up to you as long as it feels comfortable. Once you find your seat, snuggle in, root down into your sit bones, stack your heart over your hips, and then stack your palate, the roof of your mouth, over your heart. If you choose to join me, we'll greet each other with the sound of Om 3 times in unison. If Om doesn't vibe with you, you might just hum. And if humming doesn't feel right to you, you might just sit and receive the sound and vibration. We'll take a breath in together and then let it go. Inhale for Om. As you're ready, find your way onto your mat in a tabletop position, stacking your hips over your knees and your shoulders over your wrists. Take your time, there is no hurry. As you find your way onto your mat, breathe. And as you breathe, you may notice subtle shifts and changes in the form of your body. That could be the movement of your belly or the movement of your ribs. You might choose to consciously link movement to your breath. So as you inhale, you might curl your toes under and draw your heart forward and invite your crown and tail to rise. As you exhale, you might press the tops of your feet into the mat and lift the back of your heart high and invite your crown and tail to shift down. You might continue to move between these forms of cat and cow, or maybe your body is looking for an alternate form of movement. Maybe that's a lateral bend, drawing your right shoulder towards your right hip, and then drawing your left shoulder towards your left hip. Maybe the motion is circular, circling your neck, or circling your hips and shoulders over your knees. Maybe your body is looking for a moment of stillness. Move in any way that feels natural to you. As you're ready, return your spine to a neutral form, hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. With an inhale, extend your right leg behind you. Keep the ball of your right foot on the mat. Fire up your right quad, press back through your right heel. Press the top of your left foot into the mat so both of your legs are active. Press down through both hands and take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slide your left knee forward. It might lift off the mat. Inhale and slide your left leg back. Exhale, slide your left leg forward. Inhale to slide it back. Exhale, slide your left leg forward. Inhale, slide your left leg back, and as you exhale, pivot on your left knee. Turn your right heel down to the mat. Stack your hips and shoulders. Your left hand might stay flat On the mat, you might come up to your fingertips. You might elevate your left hand onto a block. Right hand might connect to your hip. It might reach overhead. Maybe it makes large circular motions. Press the top of your left foot into the floor and shift your hips forward. Press down into your left hand, draw your shoulder blades together. Invite your heart to open towards the ceiling. One more breath in. As you exhale, drop your right hand off. Pivot on your left knee. Your right knee grounds next to your left. Inhale to reach your left leg behind you. Keep the ball of your left foot on the mat. Push back through your left heel. Press the top of your right foot into the mat so both legs are active. Press down through both hands. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slide your right leg forward. It might lift. Inhale to slide your right leg back. Exhale, slide your right leg forward. Inhale, slide it back. Exhale, slide your right leg forward. And then inhale, slide your right leg back. Pivot on your right knee. Turn your left heel down to the mat. Stack your hips and shoulders. Right hand might stay flat. You might come up to your fingertips. You might bring your right hand to a block. Left hand might come to your hip. It might extend overhead. It might make large circular motions. Press the top of your right foot into the mat. Press your hips forward. Press through your right arm. Draw your shoulder blades together. Invite your heart to lift towards the ceiling. One more breath in. And as you exhale, ground your left hand. Pivot on your right knee. Your left knee grounds next to your right. Curl both sets of toes under. Inhale, draw your heart forward. Lift your crown. As you exhale, press through your hands. Lift your belly. Push back through your heels and float your knees. Drop your knees off. Draw your heart forward. Lift your crown. Exhale, press through your hands. Lift your belly. Push through your heels and float your knees. Drop your knees off. Inhale, draw your heart forward, lift your crown. Exhale, press through your hands, lift your belly, push back through your heels. And as you inhale, extend your legs, find a high plank. As you exhale, press through your hands to send your hips up and back. Pedal out your feet, bending right, left, left, right. And as you're ready, walk your feet towards your hands and find a standing forward fold. Push both feet down into the earth and try to spread them out apart with your feet. Bend your knees and reach your hips back so your knees stack over your heels. Fire up your glutes, lift your belly towards your spine. Inhale, reach your hips back, and your crown forward, your spine's parallel to the floor. Exhale to release belly towards your thighs and crown towards the earth. Inhale, reach your hips back and your crown forward, your spine's parallel to the floor. Exhale to release belly towards your thighs, crown towards the earth. Inhale, your hips reach back, crown forward. As you exhale, hands come to your thighs, shoulders lift to your back. Fire up your glutes, fire up your belly. Inhale to rise with a long spine. Exhale to release your hands, Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale to draw your arms overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift your belly and lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your hands, step your right leg back. Inhale, your left foot meets your right, high plank. Exhale to lower your knees. Hips stay high as you lower your chest and chin. Inhale to draw your heart forward, shoulders shift towards your back. As you exhale, your hips draw you towards your heels for a downward facing dog or any other form that feels right to you. Check in with your breath. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with your body. With your next inhale, Step your right foot forward. As you exhale, your left foot meets your right. Inhale, lift your belly and lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands come to your hips, shoulders lift to your back. Inhale to rise, strong glutes, strong belly, long spine. Exhale to release your hands, Tadasana. Inhale, draw your arms overhead. Exhale to fold over your legs. Inhale, lift your belly and lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your hands and step your left leg back. Inhale, your right foot meets your left, high plank. Exhale to lower your knees, your hips stay high. As you lower your chest and chin, drop off your hips. Inhale to draw your heart forward, shoulders shift towards your back. Exhale, your hips draw you towards your heels for a downward facing dog or any other form that feels right to you. Check in with your breath. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with your body. One more breath in and out. Inhale to step your left foot forward. As you exhale, your right foot meets your left. Inhale, lift your belly, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands come to your hips, shoulders lift to your back, soften your knees. Inhale to rise, strong glutes, strong belly, long spine. Exhale to release your hands. Inhale, draw your arms overhead. Exhale to fold over your legs. Inhale, lift your belly, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your hands, walk or hop your feet back and lower down, knees chest chin or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to draw your heart forward, shoulders shift towards your back. And as you exhale, your hips draw you towards your heels for a downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Check in with your breath. Check in with your thoughts. Check in with your body. One more breath in and out. Inhale to rise onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees and look forward. To exhale, walk or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale, lift your belly and lengthen your spine. Exhale, release belly towards your thighs, crown towards the earth. Inhale, rise to stand on two legs. Draw your arms overhead and hook your thumbs. Inhale to lift up out of your hips, and as you exhale, arc to your left. Reach down into your right heel and straighten your right arm. Breathe into the right side of your ribs. Inhale to stand tall. Exhale, change the hook of your thumbs. Inhale, lift out of your hips, and exhale, arc to your right. Reach down into your left heel. Extend your left arm. Breathe into the left side of your ribs. Inhale to stand tall. Exhale, bring your palms together in front of your heart. We're going to press the L shape between our thumb and index fingers firmly together. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift your heart towards your thumbs. Push both of your feet down into the floor. And then try to spread the floor apart with your feet. With an exhale, bend your knees and take your hips back before they go down, finding chair pose, Utkatasana. You might find that you can have a little bit more comfort and mobility by widening the feet. And that might allow for a little bit more movement in the pelvis. Keep pushing your feet into the floor. Keep trying to spread your mat with your feet so that we are active in our outer hips. Keep pressing your hands together and invite your heart to lift. If you want more challenge, you might explore bringing your hands towards your head. Your hands might ultimately reach overhead. Keep pushing your feet into the floor. One more breath in, and as you exhale, fold over your legs for Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Gather your blocks. We're going to ground our feet about as wide as our hips. We're going to ground our hands on a block directly beneath our face. Left hand's going to stay on the block. Right hand's going to come to our hip. Push your feet down into the floor. Try to spread them out apart with your feet so that we are active in our hips. Press down through your left hand and start to draw your shoulder blades together. Invite your chest to turn towards the right. Notice if your left knee starts to bend. That will allow your face to ultimately turn more towards the ceiling, but that movement is coming from the hips, not the spine. So actively push your left foot down into the floor. Spread the floor apart. If this makes you have to look towards the bottom of the wall, it's okay. One more breath in. And as you exhale, your right hand comes down to the block. Left hand comes to our left hip. Press your feet into the floor. Try to spread the floor apart with your feet. Press down into your right hand and start to squeeze your shoulder blades together to invite your chest to turn towards the left. Actively push your right foot down into the floor. Try to spread them out apart with your feet. One more breath in. And as you exhale, we'll bring the left hand down to the block. Each hand gets its own block, and we're going to ground the hands beneath our shoulders. Our feet come together at the midline of our body. That is the imaginary line that splits you into a right and left half. Press your hands into your blocks. Draw your shoulders towards your hips so your heart begins to reach forward. Push your right foot down into the floor. And with an inhale, lift your left leg directly to your side. Reach your left knee and toes forward. Reach both of your hips back. Keep pressing your hands into your blocks and reach your heart forward even as your hips are reaching back. We want to activate our right hip to stabilize our left leg. One more breath in, and as you exhale, drop your left foot off. You can pedal out to your feet in between sides. And as you're ready, we're going to press our hands into our blocks and draw our shoulders towards our hips. Push your left foot into the floor, and with an inhale, lift your right leg directly to the side. Reach your right knee and toes forward as you reach both hips back. Press down into your blocks, draw your heart forward, and we're activating our left hip to stabilize our right leg. One more breath in, and as you exhale, drop your right foot off, pedal out your feet. Press your hands into your blocks, draw your shoulders towards your hips. And with an inhale, we're going to lift our left leg directly behind us. Turn your left knee and toes towards the earth. Press your right foot into the floor. Activate your right hip to stabilize your left leg. Push out through your left heel by engaging your left quad. Try to lift your left heel with your glutes and your inner thighs. For more challenge, you might connect your right hand to your right leg. For more challenge, you might connect your left hand to your right leg. Wherever you are, with an exhale, bend both knees and draw your left knee towards your right heel. With an inhale, extend both legs. Exhale to bend both knees. Inhale to extend both legs. Exhale, bend both knees. And with an inhale, step your foot towards the back of your mat. We're moving towards a low lunge. Our right knee is bent. Our left knee is not. We're on the ball of our left foot. We're going to fire up our left quad and push back through our left heel. Press down into your right big toe mound and inner right heel. Fire up your inner thighs and reach your right hip back towards your left foot. Fire up your glutes. Lift your belly towards your spine. And we're going to bring our hands up to our right thigh. Push down into your right foot. And we're going to draw our shoulders up over our hips. We're finding a high lunge. Our hands might stay connected to our leg, or our hands might walk their way to our hips. They might walk their way up the front of our body. They might ultimately reach towards the ceiling. With an exhale, return your hands to your right thigh. Maybe hands come all the way down to the blocks. We're going to reach the top of our head forward, and we're going to push into our right foot and activate our right hip. We might take a series of small steps forward with our left foot and find our way to a chair pose. We might push into the right foot and float our left foot up off the floor. Maybe taking a brief moment in Virabhadrasana 3 before finding both feet on the earth in chair pose. Utkatasana. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, fold over your legs. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Hands ground onto blocks beneath our shoulders. Feet come together at the midline. Push your left foot down into the earth. With an inhale, lift your right leg behind you. Activate your left hip to stabilize your right leg. Turn your right knee and toes towards the earth. Push out through your right heel by firing up your right quad. Lift your right heel with your glutes and inner thighs. For more challenge, your left hand might connect to your left leg. For more challenge, the right hand might join it. Wherever you are, with an exhale, bend both knees and your right knee reaches towards your left heel. Inhale and extend both legs. Exhale to bend both knees. Inhale, extend. Exhale to bend. And as you inhale, reach your right foot to the back of your mat. We're finding a low lunge. Our left knee is bent. Our right knee is not. We're on the ball of our right foot. Push back through your right heel. Press down into your left big toe mound and left inner heel. Fire up your inner thighs. Your left hip reaches back for your right. Fire up your glutes. Lift your belly towards your spine. Hands come to our left thigh. Push down into your left foot. And shoulders will start to lift over our hips. Hands might stay connected to our left thigh. They might migrate to our hips or up the front of our body. They might ultimately reach towards the ceiling. One more breath in. And as you exhale, hands return to our left thigh. They might even come all the way back to the blocks. Reach forward with the top of your head. Press down into your left foot. We're going to press forward with our right foot. And we're going to activate our left hip. And we might take a series of small steps forward. Or we might float our right leg off the floor. Finding a moment in Virabhadrasana 3. Before we find chair pose with both feet on the ground. deep breath in. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift your belly and lengthen your spine. As you exhale, ground your hands, walk or hop your feet back. Inhale, high plank. And as you exhale, all paths lead to a downward facing dog. You might go directly to a down dog. You might choose to take a vinyasa. Maybe you choose to take a few breaths in a resting form of your choice. When you arrive in your downward facing dog, press the L shape between your thumb and index fingers firmly into the mat. Lift your belly towards your spine, thigh up your quads, press your hips back and your heels down. Bring your feet together at the midline of your body. With an inhale, step your right foot towards your hands. As you exhale, turn your left heel down to the mat. Right hand can connect to a block of the earth on the inside of your right foot. Right elbow might come to your right knee. Left hand comes to your left hip, or it might reach overhead, or maybe it reaches behind your back and searches for your right pocket. Side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Push both feet into the mat. Continue trying to spread your mat apart with your feet. Whatever your right arm is touching, push into that connection. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Invite your heart and face to turn towards the ceiling. Ground into both feet. Fire up your glutes. And as you inhale, draw your shoulders over your hips for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Continue pressing down into both feet. Continue trying to spread the earth apart with your feet. Hips and shoulders face towards the long edge of the mat. We're turning our face towards the right. Hands might stay on the hips, or they might extend parallel to the earth. Press into your right big toe mound and inner right heel. And as you inhale, extend your right leg. As you exhale, reach your right hip back as you reach your right arm forward. The right hand can connect above or below our right knee. Our right hand might connect to a block. Left hand might come to our hip. It might reach towards the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Continue pressing your feet into the earth. Reach your right hip towards your left foot. Whatever your right arm is touching, push into that connection. Draw your shoulder blades together. Invite your heart and face to turn towards the ceiling. For more challenge, you might reach your left arm overhead. For more challenge, the right arm might join it. One more breath in. As you exhale, bend your right knee, hands ground near the top of your mat. Inhale, step your right leg back, high plank. As you exhale, all paths lead to a downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we're pressing the L shape of both hands firmly into the earth. Bring your feet together at the midline of your body. Lift your belly, fire up your quads, send your hips back and your heels down. Inhale and step your left foot towards your hands. Exhale, turn your right heel down to the mat. Right toes generally face the long edge, left toes generally face the left edge. Our left hand can connect to a block or the earth on the inside of our foot. Perhaps your left elbow comes to your left knee. Right hand might connect to your hip. It might reach overhead. It might reach behind your back and look for your left pocket. Side angle pose. Press both feet into the mat. Try to spread your mat apart with your feet. Whatever your left arm is touching, push into that connection. Draw your shoulder blades together and invite your heart to lift towards the ceiling. Turn your face towards the ceiling. Press into both feet. Fire up your glutes, and as you inhale, draw your shoulders up over your hips. Virabhadrasana 2. Hips and shoulders face the long edge of the mat. We press down into both feet. We try to spread the mat apart with our feet. Arms can stay on our hips or extend parallel to the earth, and we're turning our face towards the left. Ground into your left big toe mountain, inner left heel. Inhale and extend your left leg. Exhale, take the top of your left hip back as you reach your left arm forward. Left hand might connect above or below our left knee. Left hand might connect to a block. Right hand might connect to our right hip, or it might reach towards the ceiling. Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Press your feet into the earth. Reach your left hip towards your right foot. Press down through your left arm. Draw your shoulder blades together. Invite your heart and face to turn towards the ceiling. For more challenge, your right arm might reach overhead. For more challenge, the left arm might join it. One more breath in. As you exhale, bend your left knee, ground your hands near the top of your mat. Inhale, step your left leg back, high plank. As you exhale, all paths lead to a downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we're bringing our feet together at the midline of our body. Press firmly into the L shape of both hands. Lift your belly, fire up your quads, send your hips back and your heels down. Press your left foot into the earth. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Activate your left hip to stabilize your right leg. Turn your right knee and toes towards the floor. Push out through your right heel. Try to lift with your glutes and inner thighs. Continue pressing evenly through both of your arms. One more breath in. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Draw your right knee to your nose. Step your right foot off near your right hand. We're going to press down into our right foot and down into our left hand. Draw your shoulder blades together and turn your chest to the right. Your right hand might connect to your right knee. It might connect to your hip. It might reach towards the ceiling. If our left wrist is not excited about holding this much of our body weight, we can explore coming down to an elbow, perhaps on a block, perhaps on the floor. Wherever your left arm is situated, we're pressing down into the earth and squeezing our shoulder blades together to invite a twist of our heart towards the ceiling. Keep pushing into your right foot. Keep pushing back through your left heel. Engage your inner thighs. Right hip is going to reach towards our left foot. From here, press through your left arm. We're going to walk our right foot down the length of our body. When our right foot's even with our hips, right knee and toes face away from us. Push into your right foot and shift to the pinky edge of your left foot. Salamba Vakshisthasana, a supported side plank. We press through both legs to lift our hips. We press down through the left arm to lift our chest. If you want more challenge, you might walk your right foot all the way down to connect to your leg. Maybe you stack your feet. Maybe you explore a special position of your legs. As you're ready, we're going to ground our hands and feet, and we're going to find our way back to a downward facing dog, taking whatever pathway feels right for you. Once you find your downward facing dog, we're pressing the L shape of both hands firmly into the earth. We're bringing our feet together at the midline of our body. Lift your belly, fire up your quads, press your hips back and your heels down. Press down into your right foot. Inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Activate your right hip to stabilize your left leg. Turn your left knee and toes towards the floor. Push out through your left heel. Try to lift with your glutes and inner thighs. Continue to push evenly through both of your hands. With an exhale, bend your left knee. Draw your left knee towards your nose. Drop your left foot off near your left hand. We're going to press down into our left foot and our right hand. And we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together and bring our left hand to our left knee. Left hand might stay on our knee. It might come to our hip. It might reach overhead. Again, if our right wrist is feeling uncomfortable bearing this amount of weight, we can explore bringing our right elbow down to a block or down to the earth. However your right arm is situated, we're pushing the right arm into the earth and drawing our shoulder blades together to invite our heart to lift. Push down into your left foot, press back through your right heel. Activate your inner thighs, your left hip is reaching back towards your right foot. From here, we are going to walk our left foot down the length of our body. When our left foot's even with our hips, our left knee and toes point away from us. Push down into your left foot and shift to the pinky edge of your right foot. Salambhavashisthasana, supported side plank. We press both feet into the earth to help lift our hips. We press through our right arm and draw our shoulder blades together to help lift our chest. For more challenge, your left foot might walk down to connect to your right leg. Maybe you choose to stack your legs. Maybe you choose to explore special shapes with the legs. As you're ready, ground your hands and feet, and as you exhale, find your way to your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, we are going to walk our feet forward to our hands. We're going to gather our blocks and we're going to rise to a standing position. We're going to bring our feet together under our hips in mountain pose Tadasana. We're going to start standing in our right leg. So we're going to rise up on the ball of the left foot. And then we're just going to point our left knee out to the side. Look over your left knee. We're going to take our block in our left hand and just place that block just beyond the line of our knee. Point your left knee forward, drop your heel off. Coming on the ball of the right foot, we're swinging our right knee out to the side. We're going to take the block, and we're going to place it on the floor just beyond the point of our knee, and then we're coming back to our mountain pose. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to actively press our right foot down into the floor. We're going to use our right hip to stabilize our left leg. Come on the ball of your left foot. turn your left knee out to the side. And because we measured it, we should be able to just pop our left foot up on that block. And we are in Captain Morgan pose. So, right hip is active to stabilize our left leg. Hands might stay on our hips. Maybe we explore moving our arms. Maybe we explore reaching our right arm up. And with our left hand on our left thigh, we're going to reach up and over to the left. Do not trust this block. This block will drop you. So stay active in your right hip to stabilize your left leg. Maybe you turn your chest and face. Inhale, return to center. And we're going to bring our left foot next to our right. We're going to push our left foot into the floor. We're activating our left hip to stabilize our right side. Come on the ball of your right foot, swing your right knee out to the side, and we're going to pop our right foot up onto the block, finding our Captain Morgan pose. Activate your left hip to stabilize your right thigh. You might notice if you have a tendency to hike the hip of the elevated side, the more we activate the standing leg, the more we might find that our pelvis begins to level. You might keep your hands on your hips. You might start to explore moving the arms. Maybe it's the left arm that starts to reach high. And by stabilizing in our left hip, we might find some security to reach up and over to the right. Right hand might come to your right thigh. Do not trust the block. Keep all of your weight rounding through your left leg. Maybe you start to turn your chest and face a little bit towards the left. Use an inhale to rise. And as you exhale, we're going to return to our mountain pose. You're welcome to repeat Captain Morgan, placing your left foot on the block. Or you might explore bringing your left foot to your right leg for Vrikshasana, tree pose. So we're pressing our right foot into the earth. We're activating our right hip to stabilize. You can start to lift your left knee and then turn your left knee out to the side. The left knee should be right over the block because that's how we measured it earlier. We're going to think about drawing our legs together. We're still actively standing in the right leg, activating the right hip to stabilize the left side. And maybe hands stay on your hips. This is a great tactile way to sense if you're hiking the hip on the standing leg, then you can encourage that hip to drop. Or maybe you're starting to explore moving the arms. And so maybe you're reaching your arms up overhead. Or maybe, like we did in our Captain Morgan, the right arm's reaching up and over. I'm stabilizing in my right hip. Maybe my left arm starts to connect to my left thigh. Maybe I start to draw my shoulders together and turn my head and chest towards the right. We're stabilizing with our right leg, pushing our right foot into the floor. And with an inhale, we can return to center. And with an exhale, we can return to our mountain pose, Tadasana. So we stabilize by pushing our left foot into the floor, firing up our left hip. Maybe we're coming to Captain Morgan. Maybe we are bringing our right foot to our left leg. The right knee should be about over the block, because that's how we measured. And just like in our Captain Morgan, we're activating our left hip to stabilize our right side. Maybe your hands stay on your hips and you're sensing whether or not you are lifting that elevated hip. Maybe arms start to change, migrating up the front of your body. Maybe it's your left arm that's reaching high and you're reaching up and over towards the right. We stabilize by activating the left hip. Maybe our right arm is connecting to our right leg. Maybe shoulder blades are drawing together and our chest and face are turning towards the left. With an inhale, we'll rise back to center. With an exhale, we're going to return to our mountain pose. We can repeat any of these as we progress. So we're pressing down to the right foot, right hip is activating to stabilize the left leg. Maybe it's Captain Morgan. Maybe it's tree pose. Maybe we're starting to explore lifting the left thigh up in front of us, maybe holding onto the back of the left knee, maybe extending the leg. Maybe we're using a strap and we're catching the ball of the left foot in the strap as we extend the left leg forward. Maybe you have the capacity to connect the peace fingers of your left hand to your left big toe. We're going for Uttita Hashtapadangustasana, standing hand to big toe pose, or a variation thereof. Again, we are pushing our right foot into the floor and activating our right hip to stabilize our left side. We want to notice if we are hiking the left hip, and if we are, we're reaching our left hip towards our right foot. If you're grabbing your foot, notice if you are rounding your upper back or rolling your shoulders forward in order to create that reach. If you are, I invite you to use a strap to lengthen your arms so that you can explore lifting your heart towards the ceiling. This also works with the left knee bent as well as extended, drawing the shoulders back as we lift through the heart. One more breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the left knee and drop our left foot off. We're pressing our left foot down onto the floor. We're firing up our left hip to stabilize our right leg. Maybe we're coming to Captain Morgan. Maybe we're returning to our tree pose. Maybe we are exploring bringing the right leg out in front of us. We can hold on to the front or back of the right knee. We can extend the leg. We might use a strap to connect to our right leg. We might have the capacity to connect the peace fingers of our right hand to our right big toe for Uttita Hashtapadangustasana. We're stabilizing by activating our left hip and pushing our left foot into the floor. We want to notice if we're hiking our right hip. And if we are, we're reaching our right hip towards our left foot. If we're reaching for our foot, we're going to think about drawing our shoulder blades back and lifting our heart towards the ceiling. And it may be the case that we need to extend our arms with a strap or a towel. One more breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to bend our right leg, and we're going to return to our mountain pose, Tadasana. One more offering for our standing leg balance sequence. Again, you can repeat any of the steps we've taken along the way. We're pressing our right foot into the earth, activating our right hip to stabilize. Maybe we stop at Captain Morgan. Maybe we've come to our tree. Maybe we're extending the leg in front of us. Maybe by activating the right hip, we find that we can keep the hips stable, but begin to turn the spine on top of the hips, starting to revolve the torso. And so maybe our right hand's coming to our left knee, and our left hand's coming to the back of our left hip. Maybe you're using a strap to connect your right hand to your left foot. Maybe you have the capacity to use your right hand to hold on to the outer edge of your left foot. Maybe left hand is reaching behind you. Maybe you're turning your face towards your left hand. We stabilize by pressing into our right foot and activating our right hip. We want to reach our left hip down towards our right foot. We lift up through the heart to help find the twist, and it's the engagement of our shoulder blades that invite the back to turn. With an inhale, We'll return our chest forward if we took that twist. As you exhale, we'll bend the left leg and return our left foot to the mat. We push our left foot down into the floor. We activate our left hip to stabilize our right leg. Maybe you're coming to your Captain Morgan. Perhaps it's your tree pose. Perhaps we're extending the leg in front of us. Perhaps we're inviting a twist on top of that. So to stabilize in the twist, we push down into our left foot and activate our left hip. We want to reach our right hip down towards the floor. And then to twist, we first lift up through the heart and then engage the shoulder blades to invite the back to turn. Maybe you reach your right hand behind you. Maybe you're turning your face towards the right. Inhale to turn forward. As you exhale, we'll bend our right knee. And we're going to drop our right leg off. Whew, that was a lot. We're going to return to the front of our mat. With an inhale, draw your arms overhead. And as you exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, lift your belly, lengthen your spine. Exhale, ground your hands. Walk or hop your legs back. Inhale for your high plank. And as you exhale, we will all lower ourselves down to our bellies. We're going to take a Sphinx pose. So we're going to ground our elbows beneath our shoulders. We could choose to hold on to opposite elbows. We could choose to hold on to opposite hands. We could push fists or palms into the floor. We're going to fire up our quads and press the tops of our feet into the mat. You might even think of reaching your pinky toes towards the floor. We're going to lift our bellies up towards our spine, and then we're going to press down through our arms, and we're going to draw our shoulder blades back and down towards our hips so that our hearts start to lift and rise. If this feels a little too intense on the back, you might reach your arms further forward, still drawing the shoulders back and down, but maybe decreasing the sensation you're experiencing. If you want to increase the sensations you're experiencing, you might press your palms into the floor and then extend through your elbows to lift your chest higher. The shoulder blades continue to draw down and back so that the heart draws forward and up. Take one more breath in, and as you exhale, lower your chest back to the mat. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. Invite your hips to rock side to side. One more time, we're going to explore this spinal extension. So you can take this to wherever your edge is. And it could be the case that even just resting your head on your forearms could be creating enough sensation for you today. It could be the case that your body is asking you to lift your shoulders higher. The maximum you'll be able to achieve is to bring your hands directly under your shoulders, continuing to draw your shoulders back and down, inviting your heart to reach forward. And you're welcome to explore anywhere in between those extremes, finding a position that resonates most clearly with you and your body. As you're ready, you can lower the front of your body back to the mat. You can rest your forehead on the back of your hands and invite your hips to rock side to side. Ground your hands beneath your shoulders. And as you're ready, we're going to press our hips back towards our heels for a child's pose. We're going to bring our toes together and open our knees wide. Reach your arms forward and invite your belly and chest to drop in between your thighs. Invite your chest and forehead to connect to something solid, so that might mean a block beneath the chest and head, or maybe your head and chest find connection to the floor. Reach your arms forward. And with an exhale, we'll crawl our hands over to the left. Your belly and chest may or may not lift up onto your left thigh, but we are all going to reach our right hand as far to the left as we can. Use your left hand to anchor your right. Draw your hips towards your heels. Breathe into the right side of your ribs. Inhale to walk your hands forward. And as you exhale, we're going to crawl our hands to the right. Your belly and chest may or may not lift up onto your right thigh. But I invite you to reach your left hand as far to the right as you can. Use your right hand to anchor your left. Draw your hips towards your heels. Breathe into the left side of your ribs. Walk your hands back to center. And as you're ready, we're going to rise up to a seat. We're going to sit on our feet just long enough for us to wiggle our legs out in front of us for staff pose, Dandasana. We're going to roll the top of our pelvis forward. You might even walk your sit bones back. We're going to draw our shoulder blades onto our back and invite our heart to lift towards the ceiling. And then we're going to press our hands down towards the earth by our hips. And it's okay if your hands do not fully connect to the earth. We're going to fire up our quads and press the backs of our knees towards the floor. If pressing your knees down causes your back to round, let your knees remain soft and prioritize that lifting action of your heart and the rolling forward of your pelvis. One more breath in. And as you exhale, we'll bend both knees. Fire up your inner thighs and ground your big toe mounds and your inner heels onto the mat. Shift your hands back behind you. It doesn't matter what direction your fingers point, but we're going to push our hands into the earth and squeeze our shoulder blades together and invite our chest to lift. You might elevate your chin to open your throat. You might go as far as let your head hang heavy back. And if that causes any discomfort, don't do it. You might choose to stay here, opening up the front of your chest. You might choose to increase the muscle energy of your legs and lift your hips towards the ceiling. Maybe you choose to explore extending one or both legs and pushing your toes towards the floor as you lift your hips and heart towards the ceiling. As you're ready, we're going to lower our hips down. We're bending our knees. We're engaging our inner thighs and pressing our big toe mounds and inner heels into the mat. Hold onto the front or back of your legs. Draw your shoulder blades onto your back. Lift through your heart. And you're welcome to stay here for boat pose, Navasana. Or maybe you find your feet float off the mat. Maybe you release your legs. Maybe you extend your legs. If you find that your low back begins to round, ground your feet and reestablish that anterior roll of your pelvis. With an exhale, ground your feet, hug your legs, tuck your chin. Take a deep breath into the back of your heart. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly lower our spines down to the earth, one bone at a time. Feet are flat near our sit bones. We're engaging our inner thighs and pressing into our big toe mounds and inner heels. Reach your hands towards your feet. You do not have to touch them. We're going to press the back of our head and shoulders into the floor. This is our foundation. We're going to press into our feet and fire up our glutes and lift our hips up off the earth for bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sharvangasana. We continue to push the back of our head and shoulders into the floor. We're going to push into our feet and lift our hips, and we're trying to reach our heart towards our chin. With an exhale, lower your hips, invite your knees to rock side to side. You might choose to repeat bridge pose again. Or maybe you choose to ground your hands in line with your ears and about as wide as your shoulders. Point your elbows towards the ceiling. Draw your shoulders wide across your back. Try to press both hands firmly into your mat. Sometimes that's easier if the fingers turn away from each other. Fire up your inner thighs, press into your big toe mounds and your inner heels. You are welcome to stay here, pushing your hands and feet into the floor. If you choose, you might turn up the muscle energy of your legs and lift your hips and rise to the back of your shoulders and pause. You might then push in your hands and rise to the top of your head. You might push so strongly into the floor that you lift your body up into the air in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Wherever you are, breathe. If the breath has become difficult to access, create more connection to the earth. Whenever you are ready, you can lower the back of your head and heart and hips. You might draw your knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. You might choose to rock across the back of your hips or along the length of your spine. As you're ready, we'll connect our right ankle to our left knee, creating a figure four shape. And with an exhale, we'll invite both of our thighs to come towards our heart. You might hold on to your thighs individually. You might interweave your arms and reach for the front or back of your left leg. You might extend your left leg and reach for your calf or ankle. As you are ready, we're going to cross our right thigh in front of our left, and some might hook their right toes behind their left ankle for a double wrap. Let both legs fall to your left. We want our right shoulder to stay connected to the earth. If your shoulder is elevated, you might explore placing a block beneath your legs. You might try unwrapping your legs. Maybe a block finds its way between your legs. With your right shoulder grounded, you might turn your face towards the right. As you're ready, return the back of your hips to the mat. Uncross your legs. Left ankle finds its way to our right knee, creating a figure four. With an exhale, we draw our thighs towards our heart, and maybe we are holding onto our legs individually. Maybe we're interweaving our arms and reaching for the front or back of our right knee. Maybe we're extending our right leg and reaching for our right calf or ankle. As you are ready, we're going to cross our left thigh in front of our right, and some might hook their left toes behind their right ankle for a double wrap. Allow both of your legs to fall to the right side of your body. And we want our left shoulders to stay connected to the floor. If your shoulder is elevated, you might explore placing a block beneath your legs. You might unwrap your legs. Maybe a block finds its way between your legs. With your left shoulder grounded, you might turn your face towards the left. As you're ready, return the back of your hips to the mat. Uncross your legs. With an exhale, we'll guide our knees towards the sides of our ribs for a happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. Some might reach for the front of their knees or ankles. Some might reach for the bottoms of their feet and stack them over their knees. Some may have the capacity to extend one or both legs. You might choose to rock your baby, or you might choose to keep your baby steady and still. As you're ready, we're going to draw our knees together in front of our heart. We're going to take the tips of our fingers and slide them under our lumbar spine. That's the space between our pelvis and our ribs. With an inhale, extend your heels towards the ceiling for reclined staff pose. If your fingers are getting squished, leave a little softness in your knees. You want to prioritize that space under our low back. Over the next few cycles of breath, allow the backs of your heels to descend towards the earth, pausing with your inhales, continuing with your exhales. This might happen quickly, or you might really take your time. When you find that the back of your feet have reconnected to the earth, prepare your body for rest. You might choose to alter the form of your body at rest, perhaps by placing props beneath your legs or parts of your spine. You might choose to change the direction that your feet are facing. You might choose to place something over your eyes to invite darkness into your experience. As you settle into this final form of our practice together, Shavasana, invite your muscles to release their grip on your bones. Release the conscious regulation of your breath. Release any habit of paying witness to thought patterns in your mind. And just rest here in this moment.
Mavid Vishavahai Sahana Vavatu Sahana Vunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai Sahana Vavatu Sahana Vunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vishavahai Mavid Vishavahai Mavid Vishavahai Mavid Vishavahai Shanti 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 Om.
Deepen your breath. Draw awareness into your body. Move in any way that feels natural to you. As you're ready, draw your knees into your heart. Find your way to the right side of your body. There is no wrong side. With heavy hips, press your hands into the earth to rise. Find an easy seat. Allow your palms to meet in front of your heart. And if you choose to join me, we'll seal our practice together with a unified sounding of Om. Inhale.